Only at the end of his book does the ascribed author Shields state what he has done and why. And then, reluctantly, at the advice of lawyers at Random House, he supplies dozens and dozens of footnotes indicating the sources of nearly all of the quotations. But by this time, readers like me have become suspicious. If we have been led along a deceptive path for 200 pages, why should we suddenly believe the author? And indeed, nearly all of the quotations call into question what truth is, whether it can be achieved, whether it matters. Consider just a few. The lifespan of a fact is shrinking. I don't think there's time to save it. All the best stories are true. Something can be true and untrue at the same time. It's difficult to separate what happened from what seemed to happen. I am impelled to revisit Shields's book in light of the trinity that inspired Henry Adams. As a student of reality, I have to ask, what, if anything, in Shields's book is true? As a student of morality, I have to ask, is it good to publish a book that actually is a string of quotations, initially unacknowledged as such? And as a student of the arts, I have to ask, is this work beautiful? In principle, David Shields's book could have been written at any time, certainly at the time of Henry Adams and perhaps even during the Middle Ages. Yet it is unimpeachably a work of our time. It represents the sentiments of postmodernism, the unflinching challenge to any notion of impeccable virtues. And it self-consciously embodies the practices of collaging, mashing, and pastiching that are enabled by the new digital media. The two books and these two authors exemplify the problematic of the present volume. No longer, if ever, can we accept such terms as truth, beauty, and goodness without scrutiny, if not skepticism. And yet, at least some of us, and perhaps most of us, want to preserve them in a valid form. And so my goal in this book is twofold: to define truth, beauty, and goodness for our time, and to explicate how we might nurture these virtues going forward. Chapter 1. The Virtues and the Challenges. Here I am, sitting in my study in Cambridge, Massachusetts. It's a lovely, chilly January morning, with the sunlight streaming through the window to my left. In a box above my desk is a set of cards, each bearing a reproduction of a well-known Impressionist painting. The book on which I am now working, and that you are now reading, has two purposes. First, it's designed to help all of us think clearly about the current status of three crucial human virtues: truth, beauty, and goodness. In the light of this reframing, I offer suggestions to parents, teachers, and others, including ourselves, who ponder how we should educate across the generations. I've just written a few sentences that would seem beyond objection, at least to anyone except a trained philosopher. Indeed, the sentences appear to exemplify what I'll term the classical virtues. The statements are true. It really is January. I am actually seated in my study, etc. I refer to paintings by artists like Claude Monet and Edgar Degas, works of art that are widely considered to be beautiful. And I have cited the goals of my literary exercise: to discuss pivotal issues thoughtfully and to offer sound educational recommendations, both of which undertakings are widely considered to be good. Let's suppose that statements like these, and the sentiments that they capture, were actually as unproblematic as I've just claimed. This book would be easy to complete. Indeed, it could stop right here. And indeed, most of us do live our lives taking these virtues largely for granted. We assume that most of what we hear from others, pick up in the media, perceive with our own senses, is true. We could scarcely function if we devoted real time to doubting each and every input to our senses and our psyche. Likewise, whether or not we invoke the word beauty, our choices reflect our aesthetic sensibilities. We value certain sights and sounds above others, gravitate towards certain scenes and experiences, even as we avoid others, and attend to our own appearances, as well as the looks of those humans, and pets and gardens and dining rooms and meals, for whose presentation we feel responsible. And then there's the matter of our relations to other people, and our evaluations of the behaviors of others, those known to us personally as well as those drawn from the news, history, or literature. We rarely hesitate to judge some as good, some as bad, most others as an indeterminate amalgam. We could hardly survive, in fact we could scarcely make it through the day, if we did not at least